actually the fight choreographer for Van Damme's Hard Target, which is one of the finest movies ever filmed in New Orleans, considered one of his best. He's also the creator of Fart Safari trilogy of comedy CDs. Please put your hands together for Doug Miller!
Yeah, this guy, hell yeah. What's up, New Orleans? Dan Cummins is here, everybody. Let him hear it. Let him hear it some more. Oh, hell yeah. Oh my goodness, that was a banshee up there. Oh, it's so great to be here in New Orleans at the historic Civic Theater. Oh my God, this place is beautiful. It's magical. Built in 1906, performers like Mae West and Houdini have been on this very stage. And now I, Doug Miller, am about to add to that rich history of this theater by talking to you guys about the film Roadhouse. Oh my God, I already love you guys. If you haven't seen Roadhouse, shame on you, exactly. It's the greatest film of all time. A 1989 cinematic masterpiece starring Patrick Swayze in his prime, sporting the greatest mullet the universe has ever known, while he wears the most denim a human can possibly wear. A dangerous amount of denim. Quick synopsis, if you haven't seen the film. It's about a guy named Dalton that goes around to rowdy bars and rips guys' throats out. That's pretty much the film. If you haven't seen it, you've now seen it. That's it. It also happens to feature some of the best writing in cinematic history. I'll give you a great example. At the 10-minute, 19-second mark, I've seen it a lot, a woman approaches the bar and orders a vodka rocks. And then a man walks up to her and says, "Hey there, vodka rocks. How's about you and me get nipple to nipple?" Yeah, you heard that right. Hey there, vodka rocks. How's about you and me get nipple to nipple? That's in the film. A screenwriter went to school to write that line. And then executives in Hollywood sat around a table, watched an actor perform that line, and they're like, that stays in the picture. It's gonna win us an Oscar. Now, my wife and I quote this film a lot, particularly that line. We say that line around the house so much that saying, "Hey there, vodka rocks. How's about you and me get nipple to nipple?" In our house, that's like saying hello. Or, "I love you." And a few months ago, my wife was taking a walk, and I happened to drive by her on this walk. I pulled up next to her, and I yelled out the window, "Hey there, vodka rocks! How's about you and me get nipple to nipple?" I say this to her so often, it didn't even faze her. She just got in the car, and we drove off, carried about our day. And then a few hours passed, and she starts cracking up, and I'm like, "What is so funny?" And she said, "There were other people on the sidewalk when you yelled at me. They think that line worked on me." I was like, that is awesome. And then she divorced me. You guys should try that line tonight if you're single. Definitely works. My wife and I went to a music fest a few years ago to see a friend's band perform. And after the concert, after her performance, we were going to the backstage area to say hello, hang out with her, have a couple beers in her trailer, you know. But there were a couple problems with this. When we went to the backstage area, all the trailers for all the bands looked the exact same. And the second problem, we were on all the mushrooms in the world. Yeah. It was a little difficult finding that trailer. Eventually, we have found the trailer. We're about to walk up, and then our friend that's in the van is about to grab the handle to the door to the trailer, and then she jumps back and she goes, "Oh shit!" And she points to a sign on the door that indicates it is not her band's trailer. It belonged to another musical act, perhaps you've heard of them. They're called the Wu-Tang Clan. Yeah. And I heard they ain't nothing to fuck with. And the three of us idiots were about to go in there just tripping face, like, "Hey guys, what's up?" I wanted to go in so bad. I was like, "Well, we're doing this, right?" I got talked out of it. My wife and our friend, they were like, "We can't go in there like this." And I was like, "I think they'll love me right now. I can taste colors. We're gonna be best friends." But they talked me out of it, and to this day, I still hold so much regret in my heart. And the only way I find solace about this whole thing, I have told myself that in the multiverse, there is another me out there, another Doug, that night he went into that trailer, and he is now in the Wu-Tang Clan. Yeah, that's right. Somewhere out there, it's Raekwon and RZA and Jizza and Ghostface Killah and Doug. I'm sure he's contributing a lot. Rapping about farts or whatever that guy does. Living my best life. I was in an airport recently, and keep in mind for this story that it was 6 a.m. and I am no good early in the morning. It's 6 a.m. and there's a little girl playing peekaboo with my wife and I. And at one point, I turned to the mom of the little girl and I go, "Oh, your little girl's so cute. What's her name?" And she said, "Lenny." And I said, "Oh, Lenny, like from Of Mice and Men?" Yeah, there's some readers in the crowd. Not as much as I had hoped, but... And I was like, "Oh, if you know what I'm talking about, not a great thing to say." I was like, "Oh, no. Lenny, oh, like from Of Mice and Men, like that guy in the book that was so dumb, they end up murdering him at the end because they feel sorry for him. The guy that's so dumb, he keeps accidentally killing rabbits, that guy? Anyway, got a flight to catch, see you never." I just leave her for the rest of her life. I could see the mom's wheels turning in her head as I like walk off. She was like, "Shit, never thought of that." She definitely had a discussion later that day with her husband. She was like, "Oh, we're definitely calling her by her middle name from now on. Macbeth, get in here and clean your room." I complimented a woman on her pants the other day, a complete stranger. I was just like, "Hey, I love your pants." And then she scanned me up and down, as if to look to compliment something on me. And then she just said, "Thank you." Fuck you, lady. How easy is it to lie? Now, in her defense, I was only wearing Crocs that day, so I kind of get it. My favorite part about porn my favorite part about porn, aside from all the cool stuff, this guy gets it. My favorite part is when you're watching pornography, and in the background, you see some cheesy Target wall art, you know? Like there's like a big fat guy getting his ass eaten out by a young lady. I don't know what kind of porn you guys watch, but... And then just in the background it says something like, "Don't be afraid to be great." You're like, they're not, they're doing it. They are great. Way to go, Target. Whenever I take a shit upstairs in a building, I like to say to myself, "That's some next level shit." I just wanted to say that in this theater because it's beautiful space. these giant speakers had to carry that sound out of those speakers. Just, it's a lot of work for that shit joke. Who here knows who Richard Gere is? Anybody? Yeah! A lot of you, not all of you. For whatever reason, just the lower part. Richard Gere fans. It's the Richard Gere seating fan section. Richard Gere, if you're not familiar, is a very mediocre actor. But let's be real. And he had a lot of success in the 90s. Best known film-wise for the hit film Pretty Woman. Starring opposite Julia Roberts, that's right. But who here knows what he's actually best known for? I heard gerbils, I heard hamsters. Nobody's wrong. It's however you heard the story. Now, for those of you that are younger, you don't know who we're talking about, here's what happened. Now, when Richard Gere was much younger and his career was taking off, something else was taking off. A rumor that one day he had to go to the hospital in Los Angeles to have a gerbil and or hamster removed from his ass for some kind of sexual pleasure. Yeah, this was pre-internet, you guys. The whole world knew about this. There was a street team out there that just hated him, so just like, hey, Richard Gere has a gerbil up his butt, pass it on. And they did. That's incredible. No, he knew. They all knew. We all knew. And people were bummed out for him. They're like, oh, that's awful for that guy. That's terrible. I can't believe that happened. And I never understood that, even as a young boy. Because I looked at it, that gerbil was a status symbol. Somebody was so jealous of his career, they had to make up a rumor he had a gerbil stuck up his ass. That is awesome. I wish someone would say that about me. Not one person has ever said that of me, ever. And I currently have 6 gerbils up my ass right now. Now I just hope that when Richard Gere passes away, which hopefully is a long time from now, maybe not her, it's his arch nemesis. But I hope that when Richard Gere passes away, he has a sense of humor about the entire ordeal, you know? Like next to his tombstone, it's just a tiny little tombstone that says, my buddy, you know? That'd be great. I imagine he gets up to heaven and God's like, did it happen? That's how far the rumor got. Guys, I've talked about Roadhouse, I talked about gerbils out the butt in this wonderful theater. Yeah, that guy had a bingo card for gerbils. And now in this wonderful historic theater, I gotta scratch one more off the list. I'll talk about this. I recently accidentally started a dildo collection. Yeah. Thank you. Never got an applause break like that. That's great. You're welcome. Here's what happened. A few years back, I was visiting my future in-laws for Christmas. Weird way to start a dildo collecting story. And we're hanging out, we're swapping gifts, and at one point this giant box comes my way. And I look at my future in-laws and I go, this is from you guys. And I excitedly open it up, and I look at the box, and it is a giant dildo. Not making this up. I look at the dildo, I look at my future in-laws, I look back at the dildo, I never want to look at those people again. And I'm thinking, like, what do they want me to do to their daughter with this thing? This is messed up family. I was scared, you guys. But then right about then, my future brother-in-law starts cracking up. And that's when I realized he has played a wonderful prank on me. He just wrapped up a dick in a box, said it was from his parents, and there we go. You guys should all try this next holiday season. Yeah. It was great. Really brought the family together, broke the ice. I'm like, oh my God, I love this weird dildo family. I gotta marry into these guys, you know? And I did. Cut to a few years later, I'm at that very house on the outskirts of Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I have just proposed to my now wife, and we are hanging out, we're celebrating with the family, and the champagne's flowing, and a few minutes in, my brother-in-law brings me this 3-foot, extravagantly wrapped box. There's no way there's a dick in there, right? It's 3 feet long. It's too big. It's not a yard dick, come on. I open it up, and wouldn't you know it, it is a dildo. Now, if you don't know what a dildo is, close your eyes right now. Picture the words drill and dildo together in your head. It's exactly what you're picturing. The reason the box was so big, the dildo comes with a safety helmet. I'm not joking. Look it up after the show. Dildo. They're my sponsor now. And it comes with a reflective safety vest, construction goggles, and the dildo itself features a very powerful light in case you need to go spelunking in some rather cavernous vagina. And we all have a big laugh about it and go continue partying. And then eventually my wife and I are staying in a guest house about 100 yards away from the main house. We have to take this walk back. But my mother-in-law was like, you guys can't go out without a flashlight. There's bears. It's bear season in New Mexico. And I was like, we got a flashlight. The dildo. So the two newly engaged lovebirds are walking down this path in the darkness. We're giggling like idiots because you have to press the trigger to make the light go. Like, we're laughing so hard. Like, we can see it casts a 30-foot shadow of a dick on the road. We're picturing pilots up above, pointing out to their cabin, like if you look out the left-hand side of the cabin, you'll see why they call New Mexico the land of enchantment. And guys, at that point, I had been going to New Mexico for 3 years, never seen one bear. But wouldn't you know it, the one time I'm drunk with a dildo, we come across a bear. Long story short, I murdered a bear with a dildo. I'm joking, he loved it. His name's Frank, he lives in the guest house now. Hey, that's it for me, guys. I'm Doug Ryan. Are you guys ready to get the party started? Are you ready? It's the main attraction, the headline event, the man you're here to see, the Suckmaster himself. You know him. You love him. From Scared to Death and Time Suck, the one, the only, Dan Cummings!